Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to really getting a handle on complex topics. Today we're looking at something pretty critical in construction world, especially now. How do we build sustainably? There's this one certification that keeps popping up, the LE Green Associate. So we've gathered quite a bit of material bits from online discussions, articles, exam prep info. Our mission: to give you a solid shortcut to understanding what this LE Green Associate thing is, who should care about it, and, crucially, how you might prep for the exam. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, let's do that. It really is a key area. We're talking about the LE Green Associate. LE itself, that stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. And it's basically the go-to green building rating system used pretty much everywhere. This Green Associate credential, think of it as step one into that whole green building movement, which is all about designing, building, operating buildings in a way that's, better for the environment, smarter with resources. And its relevance is just going up and up as industries try to get greener. It's becoming, essential professional development.
Okay, that sets the scene nicely. So, for someone hearing this for the first time, what is the LED Green Associate credential exactly? What knowledge does it actually confirm?
Right. Think of it like your basic entry pass into sustainable building. Our sources say it's a great starting point for understanding these eco-friendly practices. Getting it shows you've got the fundamentals down. You understand sustainable design, construction principles, and that you can actually support bigger LE's projects. It proves you kind of speak the language.
Speak the language. I like that. Sounds pretty valuable. So, if it's about this foundational understanding, who's actually getting this? Is it just architects, engineers, or is it broader than that? And, why bother? What's the real drive?
Oh, it's definitely broader. Yeah, that's one of the interesting things from the material. Eligibility is wide. You've got your architects, civil engineers, mechanical, electrical engineers, interior designers, urban planners, environmental scientists too. But interestingly, it also pulls in people like building product manufacturers, real estate developers, construction managers.
Wow, okay. So quite diverse.
Exactly. And the why. Beyond just, looking good on a CV, the sources point to this idea of it being like a universal translator. It lets all these different people, architect, developer, manufacturer, speak the same sustainability language.
Which helps collaboration, right?
And that's key for green building actually working.
Ah, I see. So it fosters teamwork across different roles.
Precisely. It makes it more than just a line item. It boosts your professional credibility, shows you're serious about sustainability, and it opens doors. Roles like sustainability consultant, a lead project coordinator, environmental analyst. Yeah. It can definitely help career advancement in a field that's, clearly growing.
That universal translator point is really strong. Makes sense why it's not just niche anymore. Okay, so we've got the what and the who. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the exam itself. Here's where it gets really interesting. What do the sources tell us about the LE Green Associate exam? Format. Structure.
Okay, the exam details. It's 100 multiple choice questions. You get 2 hours.
2 hours, okay.
And the passing score is 170 out of 200. It's computer-based, closed book. You take it either at a Prometric testing center or, interestingly, via remote proctoring.
Remote proctoring, seriously. So you could ace your green building exam in your slippers.
Theoretically, yeah. Sign of the times, I guess. Oh, and there are also 15 unscored pre-test questions mixed in. They don't affect your score, just used for developing future exams.
Right, standard practice for some tests. And what topics does it cover? What are the main areas?
The domains are pretty comprehensive. There's the LE process itself, how projects get certified. Integrative strategies, that's about thinking holistically from the start. Location and transportation impacts of where you build, how people get there.
Makes sense.
Then sustaining sites, respecting the land. Water efficiency, obvious but crucial. And finally, energy and atmosphere. That's a big one. Energy performance, renewables, efficient systems, all that.
Okay, that's a solid overview of the exam structure and content. Seems thorough. So, faced with that, how do people typically prepare? What are the options for someone aiming to pass this thing?
Well, the sources show a few different routes. There are the official prep materials, practice exams, like the ones mentioned from ArchiRoots. Those are generally recommended for, really understanding the core concepts properly. But our sources also talk about something else. They mention LEED Green Associate dumps.
Right, I saw that term, dumps. It sounds a bit Illicit. What exactly are these, according to the material we looked at? How do they fit in?
Yeah, the term is a bit loaded, isn't it? Based on our sources, these dumps are basically collections of practice questions, often supposedly gathered from people who've taken the exam recently. They're designed to mimic the real questions very closely.
Ah, okay, so like practice tests, but maybe closer to the real deal?
Kind of. The idea is to get you super familiar with the question style, the format, what topics keep coming up, the described benefits. Well, they can help with timing practicing under that 2-hour limit.
Hmm.
They help spot frequently tested areas so you can focus your studying. And naturally, they can boost confidence before the actual exam.
I can see how that might help purely from a test-taking perspective.
Exactly. But it's worth pointing out, as some sources imply, relying only on dumps might help you pass the test, but maybe not build that deep foundational understanding that actually helps you innovate in green building later on.
Right, the difference between passing a test and truly mastering the subject.
Hmm.
That's a key distinction.
It is. It's tactical versus conceptual, perhaps.
Okay, so dumps are one avenue.
Yeah.
But what about those more comprehensive exam pass support services that were mentioned, like Cert FastPass? What do those typically offer?
Right. Those seem to be more structured programs. They often bundle several things together. Our sources mention things like flashcards for drilling key LEE terms and definitions that vocabulary is important. Audio learning resources, too, for studying on the go, maybe during a commute. A big one seems to be access to actual LEED-accredited professionals for guidance, someone you can ask specific questions.
That sounds valuable. Expert help.
Definitely. Plus things like online community groups, peer support, help with
Oh,
the practical stuff too, like navigating the exam registration, the fees, scheduling, and performance tracking tools. These help you see where you're strong, where you're weak, so you can focus your revision.
that does sound incredibly thorough.
Yeah.
Almost like a full package deal for getting through the exam. But looking at how these support services are described in the sources, is the focus more on just passing the exam, the strategies and logistics, or do they also genuinely push for that deeper understanding we were just talking about?
That's a good question. The emphasis in the descriptions seems very much on maximizing your chances of passing. Yes, tools like flashcards and expert access can deepen understanding. But the overall package, as presented, seems geared towards providing a clear, structured path to exam success. The primary goal often appears to be exam pass. How much deep learning happens alongside that might vary.
Fascinating. So it's really about efficiency in tackling the assessment.
Which, brings up a bigger point, really. It makes you think about the future of these kinds of professional credentials, especially in fast-moving fields like green building. How do people best set themselves up not just to pass exams, but to truly master the knowledge they need, especially when technologies and best practices are changing all the time? It's about mastering knowledge, not just collecting information.
Absolutely. And that's precisely what we try to facilitate here with the deep dive, giving you that shortcut to understanding the landscape. So you're equipped not just with facts, but with the context to think about those bigger questions yourself. Where are things heading? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the LED Green Associate certification. Hopefully you feel a bit more informed and ready to ponder its place in the future of